reaching a turning point. Governor Andrew Cuomo suggesting if the data holds, the state is past the high point, but still a long way to go. Connecticut, Massachusetts, and other parts of the country bracing for a surge in cases. And news tonight about an actor, a husband and a father in a coma. The virus forcing doctors to amputate his leg. Boston deploying sound trucks telling people to stay home. And tonight, governors pushing back against White House claims of having enough testing. President Trump telling them to, quote, step up and get the job done. Mounting anger, protests against stay-at-home orders breaking out in Denver and other parts of the country. Some crowds ignoring social distancing, not wearing masks, were there on the ground. Disease detectives, the small army of researchers being sent out to trace how the virus spreads from one person to another, who infected whom. One state tracking down 85% of its cases, and New York planning to roll out massive antibody testing in the next week. Our Dr. Jen Ashton standing by. More money? The White House and Speaker Nancy Pelosi close to a new deal to get more money to Americans in need. Paper stimulus checks expected to go out next week. And whose idea was it to print President Trump's name on those checks? Also breaking tonight, the images coming in, a city bus hijacked in Dallas. The gunman allegedly firing shots out the window. 2 officers wounded. The suspect taken down by police. We're also tracking the tornado threat at this hour. Severe storms across the South. Possible twisters, hail, and flash flooding. Some drive-through testing sites shut down. And the positive trend amid the crisis. New company, pet adoptions soaring at record rates. Time to make room at home for the newest members of the family.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas. And we begin tonight with the coronavirus crossing a stark milestone in the U.S. as the state at the epicenter of America's outbreak reaches a possible turning point. The U.S. now with more than 755,000 confirmed cases and more than 40,000 deaths. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo revealing 507 deaths in the state in just the past 24 hours. The governor also saying hospitalizations are still dropping, and if the trend continues, the state may be past the high point. Governor Cuomo moving to the next phase before trying to reopen the state, launching aggressive antibody testing within the next week. Other states bracing for their surge. Boston rolling out these sound trucks, you see them here, urging everyone to stay in their homes. South Carolina preparing to ease restrictions on some businesses and public beaches despite a rise in cases there. And protesters turning out in Denver, demanding the governor lift restrictions and reopen businesses. ABC's Trevor Ault leads us off tonight.
Tonight, the coronavirus wreaking havoc on families across the country.
Dear God, we all come to you as a group.
Amanda Klutz sharing the story of her husband, Nick Cordero, the Broadway star and new father, losing his right leg to coronavirus complications. He's been on a ventilator for nearly 2 weeks.
We are here for him, and he is strong, and he can do this.
Cordero just one face of the virus's enormous and brutal toll.
Every number is a face and a family and a brother and a sister and a mother and a father and people who are in pain today.
In New York today, another devastating 24 hours, 507 more New Yorkers lost. But the governor says if the data holds, the state may be on the descent. Look at the daily hospitalizations over the last month. The curve seemingly past its plateau and starting to go down.
We controlled the beast. We apexed, we plateaued, it's coming down the other side. But the beast is still alive.
1,300 more people hospitalized with COVID-19 in New York Saturday alone. And workers at Brooklyn's Maimonides Medical Center, where ABC News received guided access, say the onslaught of patients is still overwhelming.
One bed empties, another patient comes in.
But with the virus seemingly under control for the moment, New York now standing by to help other states. Governor Cuomo saying 400 ventilators are ready to be deployed to Massachusetts.
We're in a very different place here in Massachusetts than other states are. We're right in the middle of the surge now.
With more than 36,000 confirmed cases, the state's now had more than 100 deaths a day for the past 5 days.
Mayor Walsh has declared a public health emergency in the city of Boston.
In Boston, these trucks blasting messages, urging residents to stay inside. Michigan's governor says her state's sweeping stay-at-home order is working.
We are seeing the curves start to flatten, and that means we're saving lives.
But the virus hitting Michigan's economy disproportionately hard. Reports indicating nearly 1 in 4 workers there have filed for unemployment.
I'm the one that puts a roof over my head. I'm the one that gets my own groceries and stuff. And if I don't have an income, how am I supposed to do this?
But despite the pain, nurse Lauren Condani, who battled with COVID-19 herself, has this emotional plea for her community.
The truth is that if people are dying, a lot of people are dying, and we're trying our best. But for some reason, our best isn't good enough right now. Just please, if you do anything, just stay home.
One of the nurses there on the front lines, Trevor Ault, joins us now from Times Square. And Trevor, in this crisis across the country, we've seen troubling numbers out of nursing homes. And today, New York releasing new stats about how many COVID deaths are from nursing homes here in the state.
Well, Tom, the latest numbers say 25% of New York's death toll were people living in nursing homes or long-term care facilities. That's more than 3,400 people. Governor Cuomo says in these facilities, the virus spreads like fire through dry grass. He says of all the things they're managing, nursing homes are his #1 concern. Tom.
Trevor Ault leading us off tonight. All right, Trevor, thank you. And you can see the mounting anger, frustration, and worry building in some states. Protesters in Denver today coming out against, quote, stay-at-home orders, demanding the governor reopen the state for business. Demonstrators willfully ignoring social distancing rules, some refusing to wear masks. ABC's Clayton Sandell's in Denver.
In Denver tonight, they came with and without masks, hundreds throwing social distancing to the wind. Protesting coronavirus closures that have society and the economy shut down and John Smith out of work.
So the coronavirus is very real, it's very scary, and it's affecting a lot of families, and it's very tragic. But the means that we are implementing are not justifying the ends. We're going to hurt millions more people than the tens of thousands that may die from corona.
Similar scenes this weekend in California, Florida, Texas, and Washington, in defiance of stay-at-home orders and warnings from health officials.
I certainly can understand the frustration of people, but my main role in the task force is to make recommendations to protect the health and the safety of the American people.
President Trump Friday tweeted, "Liberate Michigan, Minnesota, and Virginia." Maryland's Republican governor telling CNN the president is encouraging protests that go against his own policy, sending mixed messages.
The president's policy says you can't start to reopen under his plan until you have declining numbers for 14 days, which those states and my state do not have. So then to encourage people to go protest the plan that you just made recommendations on Thursday, it just doesn't make any sense.
Vice President Pence, who leads the coronavirus task force, was in Colorado greeting the governor without a mask against White House recommendations. Colorado and other states, including Vermont and Montana, have announced plans to reopen the economy, but warn those plans will only unfold gradually. And Tom, tonight, Colorado's governor says he supports this right to protest, but says people still need to stay home. Also, we should note in a recent poll, a vast majority of respondents say they are concerned that states will reopen too quickly. Tom?
Clayton Sandell from one of those protests. All right, Clayton, thank you. Next tonight, 2 of the key factors in reopening the country, testing and tracing the virus. States across the country now building armies of disease detectives. Their mission? To find infected patients and learn who else may have been exposed and determine where it may spread next. Here's ABC's Kaylee Hartung.
Tonight, the keys to reopening America, ramping up testing on a massive scale and tracing the virus. Mia Williams is a contact tracer in Kentucky, finding people who have been exposed. A so-called disease detective.
It's hard to tell, where the disease has been or where it's going and how it's spreading.
Williams is part of a small army of 20 tracers, warning citizens to quarantine for 14 days from their last exposure. Much of the work is done over the phone.
It's like an emotional roller coaster in a way, because what you're trying to do is connect all these cases, and from connecting all of those cases, you're trying to prevent or control spread.
Similar work is underway in Utah.
I work for Salt Lake County Health Department.
Salt Lake County deploying a team of 130 tracers who've successfully tracked 85% of the community's known cases. Massachusetts investing $44 million, hiring 1,000 tracers to identify clusters of cases and prevent a spread. And for weeks, California authorities have been tracing the movements of thousands of passengers who may have been exposed on those giant cruise ships.
We can not only isolate you if you've been exposed, but quarantine those that are part of that tracing regime and make sure they're not exposing others.
Just as crucial as diagnosing infection and isolating is antibody testing to determine who's had exposure to the virus and may have immunity. In Michigan, 38,000 are being asked to volunteer to be screened for antibodies. And tonight, New York announcing a massive antibody study beginning this week to track the true spread of the virus and hopefully get more people back to work. But critics say the federal government is allowing these tests, many coming from China, on the market too quickly before they've been proven reliable.
All right, and Kaylee Hartung joins us now from Los Angeles. And Kaylee, you've been finally cleared to report outside after recovering from COVID-19. I want to go back to your reporting. We know how important contract tracing is to the puzzle of reopening the country. And you're learning more about that tracing app both Apple and Google teamed up on?
That's right, Tom. These two tech giants could roll out that app in a matter of weeks. They are also working together to develop a system that will rely simply on the Bluetooth technology on our cell phones to determine if we have been in contact with someone who's infected. The ACLU is monitoring that work to ensure our privacy. Tom.
Kaylee Hartung for us tonight. Kaylee, great to have you back out in the field. Thank you. I want to bring in ABC Chief Medical Editor Dr. Jen Ashton for a reality check tonight on testing. Jen, so many experts are saying testing is the key to recovery, but there still remains chronic problems on conducting widespread mass testing. And now this new reporting by the New York Times and others about the problems with antibody tests.
Well, Tom, there are questions about the ability to scale up quickly to hundreds of millions of tests. And then there are still scientific questions that still need to be answered. When you talk about past infection testing versus active infection testing, the antibody testing for evidence of past infection, we don't know the accuracy of those tests, whether they can have false positives. We don't know how often to retest someone, whether it should be 14 days, because that's the thought incubation period of this coronavirus. And we still don't know how to use the results of that test. And in medicine, before you do a test, you should know what you're going to do with the results of that test. And right now, that's still being figured out.
Still so many unknowns as we approach the middle of this crisis. All right, Dr. Jen, thank you. Next tonight, Congress and the Trump administration nearing a deal on a new emergency funding plan. The package worth up to $450 billion, providing money to small businesses, hospitals, and testing. The bill could begin making its way through the Senate as early as tomorrow. ABC's Rachel Scott is in Washington.
Tonight, lawmakers signaling they may be just hours away from a deal on the next round of relief.
We're close. Again, we have common ground.
I'm very hopeful we could come to an agreement tonight or early tomorrow morning.
This bipartisan deal would include roughly $300 billion in funding for small business loans, plus billions more for hospitals, disaster loans, and COVID-19 testing. But some small businesses are running out of time. The government's rescue loan fund, the Paycheck Protection Program, maxed out days ago. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says he hopes the new bill will be on the president's desk by Wednesday. And while millions of Americans have received their stimulus direct deposits, many Americans are still waiting for paper checks to arrive in the mail. Today, Mnuchin said the decision to add the president's signature to those paper checks did not cause a delay, and they should go out next week.
We did put the president's name on the check. That was my idea. He is the president, and I think it's a terrific symbol to the American public.
And Tom, on those negotiations in Congress, Democrats are still pushing to include funding for state and local governments, but Republicans are not budging on this. They want to get this bill over the finish line first and consider that request on the next round. Tom?
So many Americans waiting for those checks. All right, Rachel, thank you. Now to the severe weather slamming the South. Tornado watches across several states as millions of Americans are sheltering at home. A large supercell hovering over Houston. Take a look at that, turning the sky dark. The threat stretching from Texas all the way to the Carolinas into tonight. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Jackson, Mississippi.
Tonight, millions of families across the South bracing for a dangerous night ahead. Damaging winds, large hail, and nighttime tornadoes all possible. In the Houston area, the storm's forcing COVID-19 testing sites to shut down.
The call has been made for all 4 testing sites in Harris County to close for the day. They will not reopen